I have been trying a ton of mods for Hogwarts Legacy that could tease some future content we can expect, like brand new locations, activities, outfits, spells, and way more. And we need your help, as CurseForge, who are sponsoring this video, have selected 30 mods for the game to win an award. But you can decide who gets an even bigger prize by voting for your favorite. So if you like a particular mod that I showcase in this video, go to the special link in the video description to support it. And let's start with one I think most of us wished was part of the base game, the Azkaban mod. When a civilian spots you performing one of the 3 unforgivable curses with this mod active, they will report you to the Ministry of Magic, which means that a team of Aurors will show up after a couple of seconds to take you to Azkaban. You can choose to reload a save if this happens, or you can try to escape, meaning you have to fight through waves of Aurors, which are pretty powerful by the way, and have to dodge a legion of Dementors to make it out. Now this does not happen as often as you might think, as you cannot attack civilians, so they have to see you use an unforgivable during combat against something else. But still, it's a very cool new addition that also adds a nice combat challenge to the game. Let's hope we get a proper Azkaban inclusion in the sequel, but for now this is already a great addition. And staying on the topic of Azkaban, there's also a cool cosmetic mod that adds a full-on Dementor outfit you can wear yourself, which even turns your legs invisible so it appears like you're floating. There's also an alternate variant that leaves a magical smoke trail, which looks especially cool when you're flying on your broom. Wearable creatures, on the other hand, allows you to transform yourself into a bipedal version of some of the magical creatures you can come across. A humanoid grabhorn, for example, looks pretty cool, but to be honest, the Dirical and the Niffler are my absolute favorites, mostly because they just look very silly. For both of these mods, the outfits will immediately appear in your inventory when you activate them, and you will also immediately get the appearance for Transmog. While a new magical look is nice, new magic is of course even better, and with the spells and talents mod, you add 6 new spells that also come with new talents to make them even more powerful. My favorites are Protego Diabolica, which creates this giant fiery shield that damages enemies who attack you or step into the circle, and Apparate, which is a short-range teleport that takes some getting used to, but is a very useful tool to reposition yourself, and it looks badass too. If you want to make sure your wand looks just as cool as these new spells, make sure you also check out the Wand Factory. This mod adds a new set of custom wands for the player character, one themed after each of the Hogwarts houses, 2 themed after dragons, and 1 modeled after the Elder Wand. You can pick different shafts and wood colors to create some really cool new wands. And on the note of accessories, there's also a new set of modern glasses you can try out, ranging from some pretty sleek models to a giant batwing design. And speaking of wings, there's also a mod that allows you to change out your robes for a set of angelic wings. There are 4 different colors and a small and larger set of wings for each of these colors. Now even with wings on your back, you do have to use your broom for flying, but they still look pretty amazing. If you'd rather have a feathered companion to join you, or well, any kind of animal companion to be honest, there's an entire mod dedicated around battle pets. You can select one from the field guide and then these companions will join you in combat. While you start with muggle pets like cats and chickens, you'll eventually unlock magical beasts like foopers and even unicorns and phoenixes. These pets can level up, and while some have their own skills they come with, most have at least one slot you can put a skill of your choice into. And with most of these skills being active attack skills that will help you out in combat, these pets are sure to come in handy. So this is another feature I hope gets looked at, as I would love for magical beasts to have more uses outside of our vivariums. Speaking of the vivarium, there's also a mod that removes the limitation on what items can be placed inside those and the room of requirement, meaning you can now place outside items like braziers and pumpkins inside the room and vice versa. So that's nice to decorate your own little corner of Hogwarts, but an even better addition to the Wizarding School is gobstones. Yes, while you've heard students talk about it in-game, thanks to modding, gobstones is now actually playable. I played the regular variant where you have to knock the stones out of the circle, but there are 2 other variants you can try as well. Each win also nets you some gold, so a nice pastime and a quick way to earn some extra cash. We of course already had Summoner Scored, but I would love more wizarding minigames like this in a future installment. And if you want the school to literally come to your defense, you can add the Pierre Totem Locomotor spell to your arsenal with another mod. You'll gain a quest to learn the spell, which lets you summon 2 of the protective statues that guard Hogwarts. The animation for doing so looks really cool, but in my case the boys got stunlocked by another wizard casting Levioso, so they might not be the best in combat against other casters. And there are way more game-changing mods to go over, so if you like the video so far, leaving a like would be awesome, and subscribe for everything on Hogwarts Legacy. Now if you are planning to take down some poachers or dark wizards, you might as well do that in style with this badass Auror outfit. I especially love the coat with the Ministry of Magic logo on the arm, and unlike other cosmetic mods we've discussed so far, this one needs to be bought from a shop, but in my case it immediately appeared in the shopkeep's inventory after activating the mod. If you want to round out the look, you can also download the Auror Flight mod, which transforms regular broom flying into swirling around as this magical mist, like you've seen the Aurors do in the movies. For a subtler addition to your flying, the Firebolt mod adds the iconic broom of the same name to Hogwarts Legacy. After activating it, you can buy it from the broom shop in Hogsmeade and use the same broom as Harry did while flying around Hogwarts Castle. You can also add some new mysteries to Hogwarts and the surrounding area with mods like the painting trials. This one adds a quest that leads you to a painting, and upon interacting with it, you'll enter a room with various challenges that you enter by interacting with the other paintings in this room. There's a nice blend of puzzling, combat and even platforming here, plus more gold and loot to pick up, so definitely a nice one to try out. If you're looking for a combat specific challenge though, I think you'll really enjoy the arena. You access it from the ruins close to Hogsmeade over here on the map by simply entering the tent. You can then fight up to 12 enemy waves, but the big twist compared to the regular arenas is that you also pick between 2 debuffs to make the next round more challenging at the end of each round. Think of things like increasing enemy spawns, decreased player health, or a limit to how many hits you can take per round. But the benefit of this more difficult arena is that each round the rewards keep getting better too, with more reward chests appearing after you end the run or complete the challenge. If you die, you're not getting any of those rewards, so overall this is a more interesting and exciting combat arena than the ones we got with the base game. Especially those extra modifiers per round make things interesting, so I hope it's something Avalanche looks at for a potential sequel. There are also a lot of mods that add new hair options. For male characters, there's a pack of 9 more modern hairstyles that range from short to medium length. Female characters have even more to pick from, as Jenya's hair pack adds 99 new hairstyles, giving you a ton of variety. The Elegant Hairstyles pack adds less different styles, but if you like long and flowy hair that almost turns you into Rapunzel, you'll really enjoy these additions. And while it's a more subtle change, head-friendly hairstyles changes some existing hairstyles in the game so that they interact better with headgear, allowing you to still see your hair instead of making it all disappear underneath your hat. But there are some really crazy mods out there too, like Doomland. This new dungeon starts over here on the road leading to Hogsmeade, and it starts out relatively normal. It's in a familiar location where you'll have to complete an arithmancy puzzle, which is wizard math in case you forgot, to unlock a door at the top of the building, which then takes you to the freaking moon where a giant jumping puzzle is waiting for you. Just don't do what I did and hop on your broom, as you cannot really land here, meaning you'll get stuck in flying mode. If you'd rather keep both feet on the ground, the Twilight Labyrinth is another dungeon that starts close to Hogsmeade, over here to be precise. It's an abandoned wizarding village you can explore, but the key feature are the minigames that you can do to earn chests and other rewards. There's a maze where you have to hunt down chests within the time limit, and a sort of whack-a-mole type minigame where you have to pick up as many crops as you can before the timer reaches 0. My favorite way to spice up the game though is with the Enemies Enhanced mod, which gives hostile wizards and witches access to most of the spells that you have. What spells enemies have access to depends on their tier, so low level enemies will bother you with Confringo, which will light you on fire, where Duelists and Executioners can use transformation to turn you into a box, or might even have access to the Unforgivable curses. While this mod makes enemies more powerful, it makes you stronger too, as redirecting these new spells back at enemies can trigger new effects, like instantly freezing someone after parrying their cast of Glacius. And it actually feels really cool to fight enemies who are sort of on your level, so again, I hope this is something the developers are looking at too for their next game. While it does not adjust every enemy in the game, any fight against another wizard is going to be much more interesting, so I definitely recommend giving this one a try. If you also want to add an added element of danger to looting, Mimic Chest gives every loot chest and bag, big or small, a chance to spawn an enemy when opening it. For now it's just spiders, but more enemies could be added in the future to spice up your looting even more. And speaking of loot, there are a ton of new outfits and clothes you can mold into the game. The authentic Victorian outfits add tons of big dresses and fancy outfits while still really fitting with the setting of the game. But you can also mold in some more modern clothes, like this sweater from the Modern Witch's Wardrobe. Colley's unique new outfits also adds a set of new clothes for female characters. Really like the pattern on some of these dresses here. Like the Auror's outfit, these new clothes don't appear automatically in your inventory, but most of them will appear at Gladrex store in Hogsmeade when you install the mod. There's also a new custom-made facial model for female characters, and you can of course combine these individual mods to make an even more unique character. If you really want to go all out, you also have the option to change the animations of your Hogwarts student. You can swap between the animations of the male and female protagonist, but much more exciting is the fact that you can also use the movement from the undead in theory, with the mod page mentioning ghost animations are also on the way. And if you want to switch up the way seasons work, you should try the auto season mod, which aligns the season with the current in-game date rather than switching a season each time a keeper's trial is completed. So which one is your favorite? Let us know in the comments, but also make sure to vote for the community favorites via the link in the video description or on X. The winners will receive an additional prize and they will be announced on April 10th, so you have to get your votes in quick if you want to make them count. Remember to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe so you don't miss the next one, and watch our previous video with potential stories and plotlines for a Hogwarts sequel by clicking on the screen. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.